Testing, testing. One, two, three, four. Are we ready? We're live? Alright. So, I'm just waiting for a couple of guys to come in pretty soon. So, yeah. Uh, Hold on a second. Alright. So, so we left off from from page 17 of Eternal Undying Love with, you know, like, get away from the windows, the teacher advice, or whatever it was. I can't remember. Although, to be fair, I mean, what's to even remember about this, book? Other than that, it's amazingly shit. So, hold on a second. Alright, so, holy cow. Yeah, I know. Oh, sorry. Hey, yo. Sorry. Like, this screen just couldn't really let me see the word entirely. But anyway, now it's time to continue this amazing book. Alright, so, page 17. And this is like the last paragraph of this page. Alright. It was raining so hard now. You could not see a glimpse of the sidewalks outside, nor the roads, for that matter. Finally, after a long moment, everyone who had been near the windows came to the conclusion that peering outside was futile. 'Cause you couldn't see anything anyway. Oh, hey, Jake. So, they all sat down and resumed their schoolwork, or whatever assignments and tasks that were at hand. No one noticed the black Cadillac that just made its way off the main road, and through the school entrance, which it was now headed, towards the student parking lot. Yes, yeah, right now we're at page 18. This is like, I just read the last part of of page 17. Because again, these paragraphs are long. They're long as shit. But yeah, now we're at page 18. So, just to clarify that. Uh, the same black Cadillac that had been involved in the chaos and kidnapping of a young black girl who had still not been found. It was like she never existed. Jesus, these fucking sentences. They're so bad. Alright. Many of the teens had to be moved to other rooms because not all the windows had been repaired. Okay. The principal announced that if the weather got any worse, there might be a drill. About this time, the disruption in the cafeteria died down, and the jocks sat quietly at a table near the lunchroom's entrance. 15 minutes till sixth period would end. Moose was still in his obnoxious mood, but the jocks began to talk about more serious things at hand. A young man with white pants and a cheap-looking white t-shirt with Jesus Saves embroidered 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 across the front of it, entered the cafeteria and made his way over to get himself a tray of food. Okay, so two things. One, we're getting a shot of a young man walking by with a shirt that says Jesus saves. Okay? And also the way he spelled embroidered. Let me type it. Let me type it out. It's so stupid. So embroidered. Honestly, I have no idea why he typed it out as such. But hey, whatever. Um, as he turned around, tray of food in hand, he discovered everyone staring at him. Okay, so he's like God. There was whispering and quiet giggling. John could not bear to watch this guy get taunted, so he got up and tossed his food in the trash and put up his tray. As he walked by the guy in white, he spoke quietly but quickly. Is that even a word? I don't think so. I think it's just some word that Brett just fucking made up. Good luck. You're gonna need it. And then, John left the lunchroom in a hurry. The guy in white stood there confused, puzzled. The Christians in the back just shook their heads when the guy looked around for a seat. This was an obvious signal that though he himself appeared a Christian. Oh God. You mean appeared as a Christian? Like I try not to to autocorrect this shit because it's so bad. All right. He was not welcomed at their table. Okay. They instantly judged the new guy's looks and evaluated quickly that this guy was dweeb material. That the jocks would surely have their way with him, and they weren't about to invite trouble to their little congregation. Congregation. Like, what is this? Like a fucking court drama? The metalheads chuckled along with the goth types. Okay, so they're goths in this book. Yeah, they're fucking goths. But it was the goths who gave more obvious disgusted looks. It was apparent that within a short moment, he wasn't winning any popularity contest here. Okay. And also, he typed out goths as goths. Like, he incorrectly uses, the word goths. Like, goths with apostrophe. Wait, hold on a second. I'll be back in a bit. Yeah, dweeb material. Yes, that's exactly how Brett wrote it. Brett's genius on full display. It couldn't be more bad or misguided if he even tried. Pretty much. But, yeah, what was I? I'm trying to remember, like, this fucking, like, these fucking paragraphs are so bad. Alright, so, yeah, I read that part. Oh, there you go. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Alright. Okay. Then, he spotted the nerds and geeks. These were the smart kids who got thrown into the inevitable category, as do all in high school. Fresh meat, how sweet, the jock Tommy cackled. Okay. Like, what? Like, is he like a fucking He-Man villain? Or like fucking Skeletor? The new guy just took one more look at the Christians. It smiled, then spoke quietly to himself where no one else could hear it. So he's basically mumbling. Okay. Thou shalt not judge, lest ye be judged thyself. And with that, he proceeded towards the unpopular table located in the middle of the cafeteria. But as he took a few steps to pass the jock's table, he discovered a huge leg that blocked his path in hopes to trip him. He followed the leg with his eyes to discover the perpetrator was in fact Moose, the biggest jock in the school. Now, is that any way to treat a Christian? A man of God? The teen in white spoke. Okay, so it went from the man in white to the teen in white. Great consistency so far. Pointing at the Jesus Saves logo on his shirt. Dude, let's just chill for a while. There's plenty of time to pick on this loser. Steve yawned. Wait. Dude, let's just chill for a while. There's plenty of time to pick on this loser. Sorry, I had to correct that. Looks like it's your lucky day today. You may pass for now, but tomorrow you'll be doing headstands in the shitter. Moose chuckled as he turned back around to continue eating. The guy smiled and continued to the table and sat at the end. All the teens who once recited at this table left abruptly, leaving the young man all alone. What the fuck? Jesus. Alright. He looked up to find Moose staring at him from the jock's table, laughing hysterically with food in his mouth. Okay? And Tommy cackling like a deranged hyena. Look, I really love these poorly worded descriptions, man. Cackling like a deranged hyena. I love it. It's fucking amazing. These Bible beaters crack me up. Preaching that shit. I don't see why they don't save it for their churches. Tommy ridiculed. Yeah, we get along fine just as soon as they figure it out I'm God. Moose chuckled with food in his mouth. Is it religion illegal in school? Religion and government divided and shit? Tommy finished. Yeah, crack's illegal too, but you don't see the pigs doing shit about that either. Moose laughed as he slapped an overweight girl on the behind as she walked by. Like, what is this shit? Like, Jesus. It's like, do you really have to emphasize that, like, you know, that this is a bully stereotype, Brett? I mean, come on. Alright. The girl just rolled her eyes and kept on walking. Crack kills, lard ass, Tommy blurted, giving Moose the high five. Let's leave Free Willy alone. She could be dangerous when she eats, Steve joked. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, like, just calling this, like, fat girl, like, fucking Free Willy. Again, like, do we really need to emphasize that these are, that these jocks are, fucking dickheads? Because, I mean, we kind of already get the idea, Brett. Alright. It was moments later, after all the cool jokes the jocks had to offer, that the girl sat across from the man in white. Okay, so now it's back to man in white. It went from man in white to teen in white, and now back to man in white. I mean, what the fuck? Man in white to teen in white. Like, fucking hell, like, I mean, just pick one, Brett. He looked up and smiled at her. Is it okay if I sit here? She asked. Only on one condition, he replied. She rolled her eyes and asked, Okay, what? You gotta tell me your name. Or let me take a guess, he smiled, folding his hands. Okay, guess, she said, amused, expecting a joke. He rubbed his temples in concentration, then looked up. Amy Mindel. She was now surprised and astonished. How did you do that? How did you know? She asked. He took a drink of his milk, then replied, Well, I just thought of what the most fitting name would be for the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, and consumed. It happened. Amy Mindel, he chuckled. Oh, God. Cute. But I take it you don't see many girls then? She said sarcastically. He clutched his chest like he was having a fake heart attack. I'm wounded. Why would you say that? He said, smiling. I am a lot of things, but beautiful. I am not, she replied, looking down. He looked at her stunned. Well, come on, look at me. I'm the poster boy for fat people. She spoke. He began holding his chin with his thumb and finger. What? Thumb and finger. Oh, God. Giving the impression to her that he was in deep thought. Well, personally, the only problem I see is that you're just a tad overweight. But with some exercise, I could see you being head of cheerleading and perhaps the most attractive girl in this school. I mean, look at your eyes and smile. Poetry, emotion, he smiled, staring into her eyes. Jesus, it's fucking dialogue, man. Like, it's so shit. It's so fucking shit. She stared back at him in awe. She couldn't believe she was hearing this from this guy who, in her opinion, was fine as hell. What is your name? She asked curiously. Christian, he applied immediately. It's like in fucking Saving Christmas. Like, where, like, I guess, like, the atheist character's name is Christian. And now we found out that the man in white's name is Christian. I mean, like, how more obvious can you get? You know? Fucking hell. The fuck? Alright. Alright, I thought I just saw something. Okay, there we go. Again, it's really hard to, like, find, like, where I left off. Because, again, the paragraphs are so bad. That's a nice name, she commented. Thanks, Amy, he replied. Okay, I mean, did he really need to, like, emphasize, like, which person is talking? I mean, we kind of get... I mean, I already got the idea of who's talking who. But again, considering how bad these paragraphs are formatted, I guess I understand why he put on so many, he replied, she replied, he cackled, or yammered. Okay. As they sat for a moment, she glanced at his short black hair and ocean blue eyes. She noticed he had a nice skinny build, and his expressions were very sincere. He was very unique, she thought. Something mysterious about him. He was fascinating to her. So, I've never seen you before. Are you new? She asked. He nodded. So, what do you think about Quiet Meadows? She took a drink. The name fits the place, he replied. I was wondering, 'cause of the t-shirt, she pointed at his Jesus Save shirt. Do you believe in God or something? She giggled. Oh, yes, I do. Actually, do you? He asked. Fuck. Nope, she answered. Why? He asked. When I was younger, my mother used to force me to go to church. She'd make me get up early in the morning, and she would say, Amy, if you don't go to church, God will send you to hell. Praise his name will be damned for all eternity. And all that whole shit, she said, shaking her head. I'm sorry that happened to you, Amy. What about your dad? If you don't mind me asking, why was your mother like that? He asked. My mom wasn't always a church hermit. Her and my dad used to be pretty wild. My uncle, who is my father's brother, told me this. My dad had died from falling asleep behind the wheel. Oh, so a car accident. Hit me up if you believe in Jesus. Yeah. Yeah, so basically we found out that Amy's dad died in a car accident because he fell asleep. Alright? And my mother flipped out. We lost everything during my mother's nervous breakdown. See, I heard a preacher said once that God would never put too much on a person, and that God wants us to be as innocent as children, but he broke my mother to the point that she lost her mind. And what kind of God would let a child suffer? Amy finished. Christian stared with total interest of her words. I'm boring you, aren't I? She smiled. She felt like she said too much. No shit. Let me, don't have to make that obvious, Brett. No, you aren't. Not only are you attractive, but very deep as well. And I'm happy to have met you, he smiled. So how's everyone been treating you? She asked. He looked in the direction of the jocks and discovered Moose giving him the bird and replied, Stupid is as stupid does. She saw she saw the whole situation and laughed at the Christian wit. So you really think I look good if I lost weight? She asked. You already look great, honey. It's fucking good. It's fucking good said honey. God. Don't sweat these people in this school. I used to have to put up with the same stuff when I was big. I lost weight through exercise. But what you gotta understand is they're just ignorant. Believe it or not. It's just like this everywhere. I have transferred from school to school, and it's all the same. If it's not one thing, it's another. But these types of people, sooner or later they'll grow up, and the truth shall set them free. He smiled at her. She smiled back. That's a really interesting way of putting it. The waiting for people to grow up part could take a long time, though, maybe forever, she replied. Well, Amy, they reaped what they sow. It all comes crashing down in the end. It always has, always will, he finished. Flirting 101. Yep, and what a web they've wove, she sighed. Amen. He laughed. Amen indeed. Yeah. Hold on, let me get a drink of water, because my mouth is getting dry. All right. Oh, and by the way, we are now at page 22. In case if anyone's wondering. All right. I'm still wondering who the guy was driving the black caddy. Dude comes strolling in, flicks a cigarette, almost burning off Karen's tits in the process. Okay, so we found out this woman's name, do you remember, like the last time I read this, where basically, like, fucking Damien just, like, throws a cigarette at, like, a woman's shirt? Yeah, we found out that, her name is Karen. Okay, like, what is up, like, with these fucking introductions of characters? Like, just coming out of nowhere. Then takes that fat black bitch and drives off with her ass hanging out the window, Tommy said to his jock friends. What are the police doing about the situation, Steve? Oh, situation. Yes, that's right. We're at page 22. It's getting better, boys. Yeah, and also, yeah. Yep, this is situation again. Your father's chief of police, so you should know something. Tell you the truth, for what I've heard, that ain't doing shit. They say it's either gang-related or a pissed-off boyfriend. My dad says she's probably out making friends with the guy so she can collect more welfare, Steve replied. What? Yeah, not that I give a flying fuck, but what makes him think it was a boyfriend or gang thing? Boost asked. Right. Well, my dad explained it like this. He told me the blacks who were in the parking lot wouldn't give up any info. Wouldn't give up any... You mean give out any info or help. Which probably indicates a gang deal or boyfriend. But he also said it's mostly... God, I really don't want to say this word. I really don't. But I guess for the sake of, the context of this book. Because I don't want people to think that I'm racist or shit, but this is how Brett wrote this. But he also said it's mostly niggers who drive the big cars. Like black Cadillacs with the big car systems they steal. And some proof windows to make sure no one sees them smoking weed. Hell, it could have been her pimp for all we know. Steve shrugged. Yeah, again, just to let you know all, this is, like this word just came from the book, ain't from me. Because I hate it when people do that shit. Anyway. So, why stop and flick the cigarette at Karen's tits? Tommy asked. Shit, man, that wouldn't be the first nor the last time. That's like, has had something drop between her tits. Oh, God. That's just something a guy does. Jeff, the red-headed chonk, snorted. Okay, so so Jeff just snorts. Fucking hell. Hey, Jeff, that's my sister you're talking about, Tommy blurted. Okay, so I guess we found out that Taryn is Tommy's sister. Okay. Again, this fucking, fucking introductions and information dumps just flies at you in this book. Alright. Chill out, bro. Just trying to ease everyone's worries. Quit whining like a little girl, Jeff insisted. What if the dude comes back? Tommy asked. Now there was total silence as the jocks contemplated the new thought. As usual, it would be Big Moose with an intelligent answer. Then we kicked his pussy little ass, burn out his fucking eyes with those cheap-ass cigarettes that he smokes, and if that fails, we'll have your sister screw him to death. Ha 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 ha. Moose laughed, pissing Timmy off. What the fuck? Like, what? What is this shit? Oh, God. Yeah. As Tommy was about to strike with a hateful comeback, the lights went out, then flickered back on. The cafeteria became deathly cold, and chills swept over everyone's spines. Lightning and thunder exploded so loud it was deafening. The lights died and came back on, and there at the entrance of the cafeteria stood an ominous dark figure. Oh shit, here it comes. The jocks stared and were not far from staining their undies. Coal black hair with a few strands of ghostly white rested like a blanket of darkness over the broad shoulders of this man of black. Okay, so I guess Brett Keane is ripping off, I guess, characters from Stephen King. Apparently. Shades like the Terminator, and a black and red goatee to boot. Thick eyebrows that curved like bat wings. His eyes were concealed behind the black shades, but it was evident that he was what he was staring at. Sorry. Across the cafeteria, he scoped out his prey. The young man in white, known to Amy as Christian. The jocks stared him down, everyone but Moose showed concern. Though the stranger appeared to be 6'6", Moose estimated his weight at a little over 250 pounds. What? All muscle. He felt he could take the guy if he need be. His black leather trench covered most of his enormous physique and broad shoulders. He wore black leather boots with spiked jewelry, a belt buckle that resembled a skull, made of metal. made of metal. I'm sorry, I'm gonna emphasize this shit. Made of metal. Again, we're dealing with the genius writing that is Brett Keane. Like, it's so fucking bad. made of metal. Okay, so made of metal. Okay. And the belt itself appeared to have a distinct sky, a hieroglyphics. It's like what, fucking AC Origins now? The upper body concealed with a black sweatshirt under the trench, with a crucifix logo on the front. It was then that the man of black began to remove his black leather gloves, revealing round hole-like scars on his wrist, exposing to some who assumed it was huge cigar wounds. But the Christians who sat in the back knew all too well what statement the scars were making. Okay. Oh, and by the way, we're now at page 24. Again, this shit's a long one. The man must have inflicted the wounds upon himself in hopes of resembling the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. At the same time, looking young, he also appeared to be like that of a resurrected corpse, being that his skin was so very pale. So very pale. So very pale. God. Yeah. So very paled. Let's remember that. So very pale. Everyone but Moose became worried, as they all speculated that this was, in fact, the driver of the black Cadillac. Steve grimaced as he remembered the blood that dripped from the bottom of the car door into a small puddle on the road. The man of black walked slowly but melodically, as he thought the wind carried his awesome torso. Britt actually wrote that. The wind blowed over his awesome torso. I mean, what the fuck? God. Yeah. Alright. Yeah. His awesome torso. It was then that Moose put his leg out, like he did everyone, just for shits and giggles, to trip people or block their path. The man of black stopped and slowly turned his head to stare at the arrogant teenager. Let me do the voice again. You're the one with the rich daddy, aren't you? The man of black spoke. You're the one with the rich daddy, aren't you? Because I have to do the low tone voice. The man of black spoke in a very low tone. The other jocks were surprised at their friend's behavior. Moose wasn't scared of anyone, they thought. That's why they appointed him and their fearless leader. Yeah. So what? So what it's to you if my dad's rich? Moose blurted. Like lightning. The man of black stumped the big jock's knee until it made a loud, sickening snap that the whole cafeteria could hear. But wish they didn't. As Moose laid on the ground, whimpering like a one-legged dog, the man of black sneered as he stepped over him. Good. Then your daddy could afford to buy you a new wheelchair. Yeah! Fucking one-liners. A lot of people hated Moose for being a bully, but they were feeling sorry for the poor lug now. Football was now out of the question. There was no doubt about that. Aisle by aisle, the man of darkness walked until he reached the end of the table, where Christian sat across from his newfound friend, Amy. Is he a friend of yours? Amy stuttered, frightened. Oh, him? Christian smiled, pointing over his shoulder. I ran into him, from time to time, but as you see, he doesn't talk too much. Not good on the communication skills, yet can be quite nasty. Isn't that right, Damien? Oh shit, yep. He finally put out words to our main character, Damien. Oh god. And I love it how, like, just all of a sudden now, like, Christian's, like, tone had just suddenly changed. Because it went from innocent little, like an innocent little wee lad to now, like, being grimy and self-aware. I mean, what the fuck? But, yeah. If this is gonna turn to an action sequence, then... Jesus. Alright. Christian turned to face the man of black. Amy became very confused at the behavior her friend was displaying. Okay. If I had to guess... I'm not going to read this part, but if I had to guess what Damien is going to turn himself into, I bet your ass that he's going to turn himself into Satan or the devil himself. If so, then I'm going to laugh my ass off. Is he going to be trouble for you? Amy asked in dismay and utter fear. I don't know. Is there gonna be trouble? I'm sure you don't want to cause a scene right here, do you? So everyone can see what a monster you really are. Alright. Sorry, I had to get that out of the way. The man in the cheese... Okay, so now it just went from... like... the teen in white to the man in white to now the man in the Jesus Save t-shirt. Even though we all know his name is Christian. But whatever. The man in the Jesus Save t-shirt stood face now with the dark figure. With lightning fast reflexes, Damien grasped Christian by the throat and hurled him violently into the cement wall 6 feet away. As Christian slid down the wall, he fell pathetically to the ground as the man in black walked over and kicked him in the gut. He was pleased to hear something break inside the young man in white. Christian wheezed and spit up blood. Remember what has happened today? Oh, wait. Sorry. Remember what has happened today? 'Cause every day you walk these halls, I'll be walking these halls. And if I even sense you, I'll make you bleed. Any of you who walk or talks with him, well, you're as good as dead. That I promise you. The man in black eerily threatened. He began to walk by, slowly past Amy. You can't just come in here and insult me. There's rules, Damien. The man in white grasped. The man in black turned towards him and replied, I didn't make the rules. So who's to say I'll follow them? Yeah! These fucking, like, one-liners. Like, this is like a bad wrestling promo. It's like, you know, I didn't make these rules. However, there is one who make them. Like, shit like that. God. But, yeah, so, oh, I forgot to mention, yeah, we're now at page 25. Just to let everyone know. Because this is just gonna go on like this. Finally, Damien was satisfied with the damage he'd done and walked past Amy with one last piece of advice. Do yourself a favor. Stay away from the sky, or suffer the wrath of hell. Or suffer the wrath of hell. Be afraid. Be very afraid. And with those last words, followed by lightning, the lights went dead for 3 seconds. Then as they came back on, the man in black was nowhere to be seen. He had disappeared, vanished into thin air, like this. Thin air. Yeah, as I said, I think the amount of pages is 200. Yeah, this book has 255 pages in total. Yeah, and we're at page 25. And we just found out that, and they finally just give us info who the man in black is. Which, I mean, I already told you guys about it, but, you know. But yeah, of course, the man in trench being Christian. Not Christian, Damien. And honestly, like I said, if I had to guess, I'm gonna guess that Christian would be a disguise as, you know, Satan himself or Lucifer. You know, judging that, you know, out of nowhere behavior. Fuck, I need to get a drink. Yeah. I mean, that's how long the book is. Gotta have that drink. Alright. Tears forming in her eyes. Amy ran to the fallen Christian to help him. Are you gonna be okay? She asked. He looked around the curia, which was full of teenagers, wondering if what they had witnessed was an illusion, a dream gone badly. I'll be fine. I think it's Paul Moose that needs more help than I, but thank you anyway. Christian pointed. The teenagers were staring out of the cafeteria, watched in awe as the black Cadillac made its way out of the entrance of the school. And now they knew they were having a nightmare. As the car sped off, the dark clouds, rain, and yellow sky seemed to follow, as though it was literally magnetized by the man of black. As soon as the car disappeared out of sight, so did the nasty weather. The sun was out again and birds began chirping. God, it's like, okay, so I guess like Damien is, I mean, I guess we already knew, but I guess like Damien is like this fucking superhero. Or I guess like with these superpowers, like fucking Shazam. Why did he attack you? Amy asked, concerned. He's a troubled soul. Ever since his girlfriend had the hots for me, I'm sorry. I told her, being that I'm a Christian, she wouldn't be my type. 'Cause I only date nice girls. Christian stood up. God. Well, does a man of God have a phone number so a nice girl could call? Amy smiled. Are you sure you want to talk to me after what just happened? Christian grimaced as he rubbed the back of his sore head. Shit, my brother's meaner than that. If he touches either of us, I'll call the police and has his ass charged with assault. That's what you should do. Oh wait, hold on a second. Wait, hold on. Sorry about that. Just had to, just had a little conversation with, my mother. Yeah, said no one ever. Alright. Nope. I'll just turn the other cheek. Take everything with a grain of salt, like always. Christian groaned with a sharp pain. Yeah, but sometimes you gotta stand up for yourself, or people will keep trying to kick your ass. Amy chirped. An ambulance was on a way for Moose. As Christian and Amy walked down the hall, he smiled and said, Maybe you're right, Amy. I know I'm right. Now, let's go see the nurse, she demanded. Okay, you got spunk. I better listen to you, or you might kick my butt, he joked. True, it's true. Don't fuck with the piss-off fat girl. She laughed. I'll be sure not to. Lead me, old wise one, he gestured. And that is the end of chapter 1. Now we're gonna be at chapter 2, called The Dark Gift. Yeah. Yeah, that was chapter 1, guys. But yeah, now at chapter 2. And a quote from the Bible. Let's read a quote. Jeremiah 18:11. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I frame evil against you and devise a device against you. Okay? Yeah. Again, this is long. Long as shit. It was 7th period, and a crowd of teenagers stood in a circle around Moose. The blacks who had seen the unimaginable during the Man of Black's first appearance stood staring, remembering the frightening revelation. He had said he'd be back. And guess what? He back. The Bible. The Bible. The fucking Bible. Hey, Jake, what do you think of this story so far? Yeah. God. As the paramedics came and wheeled Moose off on a stretcher, his father watched in total anger. Moose's father was the principal. Yeah, we already know that. Yeah, we already know that, Brett. Like Moose said it earlier. Who did this to my son? He grabbed Tommy. Sir, the guy who wore all black and some Christian guy seemed to have known him. He's in the nurse's office. He got beat up too. He got beat up too. Tommy stuttered. Amazing. Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. I mean, these fucking, like, wrestling promo one-liners that Damien and Christian were pretty much, like, spitting out at each other. I mean, it's great shit. Yeah, the guy only seemed interested in beating up on the Christian guy, but Moose tried to stop it, and he broke his leg. Steve lied. John shook his head. That was a bullshit lie, typical of the jokes, he thought to himself. John had been a victim of Moose's antics for a long time. Oh god, okay. I'm gonna tell you guys. Okay, so Brett managed to screw up the word along. A long time. Because he wrote along as along. As, as in they went along. Instead of as a long time ago. Again, fucking Brett. They now need to talk crap about the local sports teams, and then you're golden. Since grade school. And was it a bit sad about what happened? Yes, exactly. A long time. As he writes along as they walk along the park instead of a long time ago. Yeah. Oh, this shit's amazing. Again, so much bad sentences. It's so many bad, spelling and fucking, it's just bad ways of writing words in general. He was actually very happy with what transpired. What goes around comes around. What goes around comes back around. Why didn't anyone help my son? The principal asked, furious. No one can answer that, so the principal grunted. Well, Looks like the whole football team is suspended. What the hell for? We didn't do nothing, Steve growled. If my boy can't play 'cause you all sat out selfishly while he took the fall, then no one plays. Period, the principal concluded. The jocks walked off angrily. The lunch lady came over. Sir, some cameras were put in the cafeteria. I'm sure the cops would have an easier time of catching this psycho with his picture. Good thinking. I'm gonna go and find out what the deal is with this kid in the nurse's office. The principal walked off quickly, determined to find out as much of how he could about this man of black. Boy, you done fucked yourself, the principal spit. Amy and Christian began walking down the hall. Amy, I had to use the facility, Christian spoke. Okay, Amy replied as she walked him head into the boys' room. Amy got a drink of water from the water fountain across the hall. When she turned around, she was surprised to find the man in black staring face to face with her. Yeah, okay, so now Damien is back one more time. What the fuck? She had to look up to see his face, for he was so tall. Jesus Christ, she said in fear. Nope. Wrong guy, but you're getting warmer, he said without any expression. Who are you? What do you want from me? She asked, trying to be brave. He did not answer, but she felt relieved when she saw the principal out of the corner of her eye, coming towards them from down the hall. The man in black began to slowly walk towards the door to the exit of the school. Okay, so now Damien's gone again. He went back for one more time and then he's gone. Like, what the fuck? I mean, what is he? Nightcrawler? Hey, is that the guy who hurt my son? Principal yelled. Amy nodded. Hold on there, motherfucker. I want to talk to you, the principal demanded the man of black. The dark figure stopped, back facing them, and cracked his neck, like most do their knuckles. Boy, you don't realize the hell you brought down on yourself. I'm gonna make sure you pay with your ass for what you did to my son, the principal threatened. Hell. What do you know of hell? The man of black and tie inquired, still not turned around, still back facing them. The principal pulled his cell phone and began dialing the police. The man of black stared towards the exit again. Here, when they answered, tell them the bastard's back at the school, and I want him arrested. He handed the phone to Amy. I'm gonna stomp a mud hole in his ass and walk him dry. He began pulling off his jacket. Okay. I'm gonna point out the elephant in the room right now. Does anyone notice, like, throughout these wrestling promo dialogues, that Brett just uses the word ass in every single sentence? Like, I'm gonna stomp your ass in the mud. He's gonna kick your ass. Blah, blah, blah. Ass, blah, 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 ass. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, is Brett so obsessed? Like, is the writer obsessed with asses? I mean, come on. All right. Let's see. All right. Yes, ass. I'm telling you. I mean, like this guy just like again. Brett Kane loves using the word ass because when it's not situation or as well as or individuals, like ass just seems to be a favorite word of his. And as he is heading towards the dark figure to engage in a fight, gotta kick your ass in the ass. Yeah. The man in black turned to find the principal with his dukes up, ready to fight. The man in black just stood his ground. I used to be a Marine, boy. I will mop the floor with your ass. Again, with the word ass. The principal scoffed, then threw a punch, but the man in back. Yeah, man in back. Yeah, yeah. It seems like Brett forgot to type out man in black because he just typed it out as man in back. Yeah, but the man in back reared back and made contact with the old man's fist with the palm of his hand, breaking every bulb in the old man's hand. Yeah, get him, man. As the principal fell to the ground in agonizing pain, Amy dashed down the hallway, leaving him to fend for himself with the man of black. Okay, so now it's back to the man of black. I mean, I don't know why Brett does this, but I don't know, just call him Damien. Man got back. As she huffed and puffed, she gave the police the info. Okay, what is she, the big bad wolf? And they said they'd be there shortly. She then remembered she had left Christian alone in the bathroom. Oh shit, Christian! I left him there. Yeah, man of black. Old man, I killed millions of mortals in my time. I have destroyed things in which you've never set eyes on, nor ever could in a billion lifetimes. Consider it sparing time that I didn't put your loser son in a body bag. Call him John Smith. No, I mean, the man in black's name is Damien. And yet, I don't know why Brett does this. Even though we now know his name, now know the guy's name is Damien, he just keeps calling him the man of black. Or the man in black. I don't know why. The next time I see him or you, I will show you what hell is like. The man of black spoke evilly. Why are you here? What do you want from us? The principal groaned in pain. This entire town, the entire county will be mine. No one will be able to neither leave nor come in. To outsiders, this town won't even exist. There is no escape. The man of black finished. Why? The principal moaned. Jesus, that's a long ass quote. Alright. Why do I kill innocent children? Why do I make disease? Why? Well, here's your answer. That all men have asked me of. 'Cause I am the angel of death. And I do it 'cause I like seeing a man's face when he suffers. I like hearing the screams of anguish just before one takes his last breath. It's sweet melody to my ears. And when you go to sleep at night, remember, never forget to leave the light on, 'cause I'm there, always near, waiting for your last breath. The man of black headed towards the exit. I know. This is, again, like, all these, like, again, these sort of, like, these fucking dialogue. It's like a bad WWE promo. Alright. Reggie exited the bathroom and spotted the man of black. The man of black stopped yet again to turn around. The dark figure held up his right hand and beckoned him to come to him. Reggie had been out that parking lot when his friend Chanel was kidnapped. He remembered the eyes, red like blood, and that huge sadistic smile, riddled with razor-sharp teeth. Rachel ran like the wind down the hallway. And I might actually have to end it by the next page. Because, oh, by the way, we're actually at page 33. Just to let you all know. As the man of black made his way back to the parking lot, he was surrounded by 5 teenagers. He stood still and stared expressionless at them. We know who you are, dude. A male teen with black and red hair spoke. All the teens looked gothic and dark. 2 girls and 3 guys. Who am I? The man of black spoke. The goth teen female smiled. You're the Lord of Darkness. I knew you had come. I have studied spells for years and had the ability to see the future. I knew you were coming, oh great Lord. The man of black smiled. So, it is my dark gift you wish. If you want the gift, you simply need to bow down before me and take my hand. I will show you worlds you have never known. I shall indulge your desires. He held out his hand. They bowed down quickly, and all held his hand. Father Lucifer, thou art great in all your wisdom and kindness. Another spoke pleased. The man in black smiled. You all bear my side, therefore you shall receive your just reward. He smiled. Now close your eyes, he commanded them. At that moment, 5 satanic teenagers were turned to ashes. So he basically just killed all those satanic teenagers, suffering the fate of second death to one soul. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. The man in black left the school in his car before the police could arrive. And we're at page, and that's it, at page 34. So, wow. So what we have learned so far, uh, the boy's name with the Jesus Save T-shirt name is Christian. I guess the book finally show us what the name of the man in black is. You know, our main character Damien, and of course, as we see, I think Christian may be more than just a Christian. I think he's gonna be. I think we're gonna see that he's Lucifer. But yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed you know my part two of this amazing book, and I hope to come back to reading this book soon. So take care.